Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, this is gonna be my idea for Man of Steel 2. For my idea of Man of Steel 2, I would have had Zack Snyder as director, Christopher McQuarrie as writer, David Ayer as producer, and Michael Bay as executive. For the cast, I would pick Henry Cavill as Superman, The Rock as Black Adam, Hugh Jackman as Shazam or Captain Marvel, Amy Adams as Lois Lane, the actor who played the nurse in Rebel Moon as Supergirl, the actor who played the noble in Rebel Moon as Brainiac, Ron Perlman as Lobo, and of course, Tom Cruise as Green Lantern, and of course, many other cast for any other characters. Anyways, this is what I'm going to say. But in the first half of the movie, this is gonna be like what Christopher McQuarrie would say. It would delve in Superman's PTSD. It would have been kind of a reference to Batman vs Superman, how Batman got his PTSD. Superman will have PTSD of Zod, and of course, he is gonna have to deal with that. Anyways, then afterwards, Black Adam, Shazam, or Captain Marvel will have gone into a fight because of, what had happened. Then Amy Adams would have to show up. They would have stopped fighting. Black Adam would have had flashbacks of his family. Same thing with Shazam, aka Captain Marvel. Then afterwards, they will all apologize to each other. Then later on, Tom Cruise's Green Lantern would have shown up and he would have warned them of threat of Brainiac and of course Lobo. Then this is where we would have seen Supergirl, and of course Supergirl would have remembered Clark. She would have hugged him, and by the way, Clark would have also said, or I guess Superman would have said to him, said to her, hey, I thought I was only the Kryptonian out there. Then Supergirl would have said to him, no, you're not, Clark. You got me. You got our Kryptonians out there. So afterwards, they will go up, fight, try to go against Brainiac and of course Lobo and many other villains. And of course, some of Zod's villains would have reappeared, but this time as actual threats rather than just his goons. And of course, Brainiac would have also messed with Clark in so many ways. He would have messed him with his mind, with his senses, and with his, memory. Also, he would have said to him that there are collabs in this universe, a multiverse that has yet been discovered, different universes, alternative universes, universes that have changed, paradoxes, etc., etc. Anyways, they will have to fight. Anyways, all of them fight Brainiac and of course Lobo and of course the rest of Zod's minions and of course Brainiac would have opened up the portals. This would have led to our Supermans, and the other Supermans would have had to help Henry Cavill's Superman. Then afterwards, at the end, they will all have to help out each other to fix up the multiverse. Then afterwards, at the end, once they defeat Brainiac, they will have gone back home and acted like roommates. Acted like roommates. Anyways, this would have also led out to for the ending. And of course, for the ending, just in case if I'm not gonna spoil it, it's gonna be other characters from. Well, it's just gonna be some other characters. They will come up to Clark, and they would have said to Clark that there are more species out there, and it is just not him who is the only different species. Clark would have known that. Oh, so you meant by the Green Lanterns, all that. They will say to him, no, they meant by other species, as in there are other species from other worlds that they come to visit this world. And at the end, we will see a meteor strike. And of course, this would have been, you know, kind of, and of course, even though, yes, it looked like a meteor, but in reality, there will be cybernetic alien technology in them, which would have led to Man of Steel 3 being development. Okay, anyways, that's my idea for Man of Steel 2, Man of Tomorrow, Man of Krypton, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say. Bye.